Hey everyone, it's Flakfire. After a very positive reaction on the first episode of 5 battlefield moments that actually happened in real life, I'm back to talk about 5 more improbable situations that seem straight out of video games. Just a quick heads up, if you missed the first episode featuring prosthetic limbs and downing an airplane with a tank, click the link here on the screen or in the video description to check that out later. In the meantime, here are 5 more battlefield moments that actually occurred during World War II. A skilled tank crew in Battlefield 5 can be difficult and even frustrating to deal with, especially if their team uses repair torches to keep it in action. Heavier tanks like the Tiger or Churchill are even more robust, so it's not uncommon in these situations to find tankers racking up dozens of kills in games, but it's not something you necessarily expect to hear about in real life. However, early in World War II, France had some of the most well-armored and modern tanks on the battlefield. Among these was the Char B1. The vehicle featured a 75mm hull-mounted howitzer and a 47mm gun mounted in the turret. Up-armored B1 Beast variants boasted 60mm of frontal armor, enough to withstand most German tank armament during the invasion of France. This was put to the test during the Battle of Stonne in May 1940, when a Char B1 Beast broke through German defenses. Under heavy enemy fire, the tank named destroyed 2 German Panzer IV tanks, 11 Panzer IIIs, and 2 stationary guns. The impacts from German shells on the tank were tallied after the battle, with that French tank absorbing a staggering 140 hits. Even German General Heinz Guderian marveled at the French tanks, describing a 2-hour engagement during which, quote, "all of the shells I fired at it simply bounced harmlessly off of its thick armor," end quote. But that armor came at a cost. The French tanks were less maneuverable and woefully inefficient. This meant many had to be destroyed by their crews after their gas tanks ran dry. Nevertheless, the actions of the during the Battle of Stonne truly represent a battlefield moment. In another urban setting, the Battle of the Netherlands is famous for quite a few things in World War II. Diamond and gold heists, the attempted capture of the Dutch Queen Wilhelmina, and the bombing of Rotterdam. That last one is something I've talked about in a previous episode. But for this video, I'm not going totally off the rails. Instead, I'm sticking to the rails, quite literally. In the 1940s, Rotterdam had a sprawling network of streetcars. These trolleys made it easy for inhabitants without access to a car to travel long distances within the city. On Battlefield 5's Rotterdam map, streetcars are a common sight and provide cover when attacking objectives. Gunfights often develop around these trolleys, but they're not particularly robust and can be destroyed with explosives or even run over by heavy vehicles. It might surprise you then to learn that German forces attacking Rotterdam actually commandeered a streetcar and used it to spearhead an assault in an effort to relieve some beleaguered comrades. On May 10, 1940, German Fallschirmjäger tried to reinforce another unit pinned down near the Wilhelmsbrug, but also ran into withering Dutch fire. As a result, German Oberleutnant Horst Kerfin and his paratroopers clambered into and on top of an abandoned streetcar and set out for the southern end of the Wilhelmsbrug. With trolley bells ringing and guns blazing, Dutch troops were unable to halt the streetcar, and Kerfin's unit linked up with the other contingent. Kerfin's bold actions that day would earn him the Iron Cross, though he'd be killed on the Eastern Front in 1943. Unfortunately, you're not able to drive the streetcars in Battlefield 5, but the next time you're playing on Rotterdam and spot one, remember that it was more than just a set piece for those fighting for the city in World War II. Next are multi-kills with the V1 flying bomb. Every squad leader gets giddy before dropping the reinforcement on unsuspecting enemies, hoping to absolutely light up the screen. Seeing 10 or more skulls pop up is always rewarding, but it's important to remember there was really nothing exciting about the drone of a V1 overhead during World War II. The V1 was a terror weapon, one that didn't discriminate between military and civilian targets. It carried a 1,000-kilogram warhead and was capable of leveling buildings. Its true destructive power was showcased on June 30th, 1944, when a V-1 fell on Aldwych near the Air Ministry building. 46 people were killed, including 5 members of the Women's Auxiliary Air Force. A further 200 people were injured. In Battlefield 5, the V-1 flying bomb acts akin to a precision airstrike, but in reality, it had a target zone 7 miles in diameter, at best. For our next Battlefield moment, let's examine something that takes equal parts luck and patience: the collateral. Sniping in Battlefield 5 can be absolutely brutal. Headshots with bolt-action rifles are among the quickest ways to dispatch enemies in-game. However, killing multiple enemies with the same bullet is extremely difficult, and that's no less different in real life, though it did reportedly happen at least once during World War II. In 1943, on the Eastern Front, a Soviet sniper allegedly shot and killed both a battalion commander and a regimental commander of an SS regiment with the same bullet while they were conducting an inspection. It comes as little surprise that a Soviet sniper was responsible for the kills. The USSR had an incredibly robust sniper training program in World War II. Nearly 10,000 Soviets received advanced sniper instruction during the war, and this was put to good use. Several Red Army snipers accumulated over 300 kills, including Lady Death, Ludmila Pavlichenko. Lastly, if there's one action in World War II that embodies the improbability we associate with a battlefield moment, it belongs to one man, Owen J. Baggett. The Army Air Force pilot was on mission over Burma in 1943 when his B-24 Liberator was attacked by Japanese fighters. The nimble Zeros crippled Baggett's bomber and the crew was forced to bail out. The Japanese fighters then reportedly attacked the parachuting airmen, killing 2 of Baggett's crew. Baggett was also wounded by the fighters and played dead, simply hoping for the best. Evidently, the ruse worked as one of the Japanese pilots made a slow flyby and opened up his canopy to confirm the kill. Baggett then seized the opportunity, leveled his Colt M1911 at the enemy pilot, and fired 4 shots. The Zero reportedly banked and stalled before plummeting into the ground. Japanese records dispute the loss, but the tale has gained almost legendary status regardless. I've yet to see a player in Battlefield 5 down an enemy aircraft with a pistol, but it can technically be done. Other weapons are far better suited to the task, with some machine guns even featuring a specialization that increases damage against aircraft. So, what are your thoughts on these 5 only in Battlefield moments? And are there any you'd like to see next? Tell me down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, sharing really helps out the channel. I cannot stress that enough. For more great Battlefield 5 content, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to get notified of the latest videos. I'll also be doing a few giveaways soon, so check out my social media in the video description for the latest on that. And as always, thanks for watching.